Hello and welcome back to, well, more Pale Beyond. It is getting paler and paler, at least on the temperature bit. It is minus 17. Now, for me, normally, minus 17 is like, not that cold. I know for some people it's like the coldest they have ever experienced, but let's just say that I don't think this winter, but the winter before that, we had minus 35 where I live. So, minus 17 is just a normal winter for me. Though, this condition where we're in, on a boat, stranded in the middle of nowhere, it's probably not a place where you want to be, even if, quote unquote, it's not that cold. So, we are on week 7. We have Mr. Zach that is demoralized because we, well, confiscated his revolver. Which, now that I see it, is actually a good thing that we did, because it means we gain plus one small animal killed at each hunting location. So if we're hunting small animals, yeah. Yeah. Good thing I confiscated that. Anyway. Captain's cabin. I shall go around. Cordell. That young woman. Kasha. The flash of a camera has startled my dog several times now. It is growing tiresome. Are they respectable photographs, at least? If it proves a great distraction, let me know. Cameras have a flash, it's unavoidable. No. If it proves a great distraction, let me know. Captain, I doubt your words would be enough to stop her. That camera is a sole purpose out here. As much as an annoyance it can be, it would not be right to rob her of that. But she liked me taking her side. People do like that. Yeah, we need to really work towards getting people loyal. Now, Grimly Stoke, we sort of messed up by pissing him off last episode. Junior Stoke now. Grimly Stoke is almost impossible to gain to make him loyal, but I don't think it's impossible. I think it's just very difficult. The Doctor isn't super hard. Richard Templeton is like more difficult to keep loyal than anything else. Kurt Darling is almost impossible to lose loyalty with, and Lady Cordell is mostly takes time than anything else. And Hammond is just in the beginning, mostly. Anyway, let's go down and see if we have something more we can take a look at. Take a sack of coal. Always take the one free one. We shall assign you. There we go. The doctor doesn't have anything to say. I think that is it. Now, did I reduces dogs required by 1 on map locations? Minimum 3. I do believe that means yeah. So I'm now at the minimum 3. I think. Take requests. And there are no one here. Literally no one. So finish. Captain, I would find it wise to have a word with a journalist among our crew. For whatever reason, Hunt allowed for a photographer with no sailing experience to tail alongside this expedition. As it stands, Cassia Belford's record is what will stand the test of time when this expedition is spoken of. And it would seem she has not made allies of the crew. Cassia, she doesn't seem the type to make enemies. How so? Isn't necessary. Not with purpose or malice, Captain. The sailors of this crew are a private lot. They do not take kindly to the prying eyes of a landlubber, as they would say. Remember, Captain, she controls the story. She controls your story. Best to have a word. That is true. That is true. Always know who the author is, who wrote the story, who depicts the story of what quote unquote is an historical event. Because even if the person hasn't changed, hasn't been untrue to what happened, they are still inclined to show what they think is important. Or so always be critical when you read about the source. What is the source material, who has done it, why have they done it? Always question. Always. Anyway, remember, Shaw, reputation can be fragile. You do not need an unflattering image at a time like this. True. Fucking hell. What's it this time, Tucker? These bloody cigs aren't worth the shit I stepped in. You're the only man I know who can step in shit on the ice, mate. Ah, bloody right. All right. I did wonder if I had missed when it came to allocating work towards making doglows. It's because it was out on the ice. Oh, right. Anyway. Right. Go down. Go in here and take the free one. Now, I'm not going to call for dinner. All of the rooms has been flooded. So I'm going to have to do something about that. When was the last time you slept, Chief? I got a good couple of hours in a while back. A couple. 2. You're going to work yourself to death before we even make land. Heard that before. It hasn't bloody happened yet. Back to work. Yes, some people really do not take care of themselves. Overworking is like work addiction is a thing. And you need to be careful because you might not see the repercussions or like this, the consequences until like 10, 20, maybe 30 years later. Now, I need to do the pump. Yeah, you have to allocate 5 people to this. Let's do it. Heading back to the lower deck, you can see that the locked, flooded rooms can be entered again. And here we go. Enter the food store. Colson Tucker. Let's go. With the pumps temporarily keeping the water at bay, you have time to grab 2 items. Tinned lemons and spoiled tinned food. And it's all that's here, so the tinned lemons I don't think can become like they can't go bad, which is weird. Lemons absolutely can go bad, but anyway. One of the reasons why they had why a ship had such a limited sailing time was because keeping fresh fruit on board the ship wasn't possible. It wasn't possible to keep food usable for a long period of time, especially vegetables and fruit and that kind of stuff, because they went bad so quickly. So yeah, the reason why during the 1600s, 1700s, that they were able to do these long expeditions around the world was because they actually managed to find ways to preserve food, and certain foods that survived for and were usable for much longer, so that they actually could sail that much further. Anyway, a bit of a history lesson there. Grab the 5 crates of spoiled rations and make our way out. And that room is now destroyed. We cannot go in there anymore, but we don't need to. This is also the reason why it's so important to not leave anything behind, because, and why you want to pump when it's all of these. Now, I don't know if you can do it multiple times, using the pump multiple times, but I found that this is the easiest way of doing it. You and Cavity charge into the room with the pumps temporarily keeping the waters at bay. You have time to grab 2 items. Oh, flares. Flares are really good. Ale kegs. Flares are really good for fuel. We will keep those and get the ale kegs. You and Runstar charge into the room with the pumps temporarily. Yeah. And yeah, 2 sacks of coal. I am not sure how I'm going to do this, because I would really like to do this, but at the same time I would like to do this one. I could use... I could actually use the scouts here. I don't think I want to use the engineers, but scientists, no. Oh, let's use the scouts. Like that. And then send this one, which is another one of those. Let's go down to kitchen. Feed the hoosh. Now, right, I don't have it right now. I'll get them next week, right? Now, what do I have available? I have the 2 engineers. I have 2 scientists. And that's it. I think we will do this. I will do one. Okay, 2 of the 3 got healed. And if I make sure that I have enough fuel rations to be enough, which I should have, even with just a half ration of fuel. It's more about I wonder if I should do this to gain as much food or game hunt, get as much hunt in as possible. Yeah, let's do it. Now I can't do any more scouting because they are all used up. That means I have 1 scientist. 1 scientist. What do we use you for? Good question. I am not sure. Like, I know from experience that I probably need to stack up on as much fuel as possible. Now, it might seem like, oh, you don't have any food. It's going to be really annoying. Like, yes, it's going to be annoying. I'm going to have to use the spoiled rations. But fuel is not easily gained later on. As far as I know, at least. It might become one at one stage, which I have no idea about, where, oh, you have no problem with fuel all of a sudden, but food is like nowhere to be seen. So I do think we shall use you for that. Let's get as many sacks of coal as we can get, because once this ship, spoilers, isn't usable anymore, we sort of need to be prepared. I think it's safe to do 1 more week on the ship. After that, I think we need to abandon ship. I think. Anyway, let's go down. Let's call for dinner. No. Dinner is interrupted by a torrent of flooding. Right. Yikes. Frantic arguments break out. Demoralized. Ah, yikes. This is bad. This is actually really bad. Because I don't... Oh my god, why did I not put things into the hoosh? Anyway. Better or worse? Different. We'll see, won't we? True. Oh. This is a bit of a conundrum because I can't put things into the hoosh because there is no hoosh to put things in. Evening, Captain. Have you been reading that textbook? I understand if you do not have the free time. Alright, I haven't found the time yet. I've been reading is quite an interesting topic. A shame. Though perhaps the lack of free time should be seen as a positive. Productivity will stave off the boredom more so than luxury. True. Rather morbid, sure, but our last conversation had me wondering about those children of mine. Specifically, I wondered on whether I'd ever see them again. It's not something you should imagine, I know, but that threat always exists on these expeditions. I signed on knowing that. Let's not to think these things, Kurt. We need to carry faith that we will survive. Of course. Don't mistake me for a lost soul who's given up all hope. Still, I'd be a fool to pretend there's no risk out there. Out here. True. Deluding yourself that, oh, it's going to be fine when it might not is not necessarily what you want to do. Cordell. Evening, Captain. There was a song that found itself stuck in my head earlier. The dogs were pleased when I began humming it. Fear I may have to make it a habit. Music reminds me of home. I take it to be the same for you. There is no home to be reminded of. I prefer to keep moving. Perhaps the ability to do so is what I miss. Pat the dogs. Oh, this is bad. This is so bad. I also have the food. I just can't put it in the hoosh. Oh, that's so annoying. That is mightily annoying. Now, I can still, as far as I know, next week I should still be able to get these 2 rooms. Take as much coal and stuff from the ship as I can and still be able to abandon the ship. I think. Regardless, this week is going to be annoying because I forgot to fill the hoosh. So here we go. And yeah, we don't have any food, so we are going to just have to accept that this is how it's going to be. Now, right, it's actually cold enough that I can't do a half ration of fuel. And I have enough fuel to do a normal ration without any issues. Anyway, we are going to have to do this, sadly. And all of these people are going to get... Oh! Oh! Not another one with frostbite, please. Not a third one with frostbite. Oh my god, this is so bad. Anyway, at least there's just 2 with frostbite, because frostbite has to be treated by the doctor, if I remember correctly. Anyway, start next week. I should have abandoned ship. Await your fate. Oh my god. I waited too long. Well, at least I was a good captain and went down with the ship. Anyway, I'm going to have to reverse this and do week 7 again. Can we please not do this? I don't want to wait for that. Okay. Now you know how it can go. And yeah, I need 5 people to do this because it's 5 rooms. I might have to focus all hands on doing things on the ship because today is the last day. Okay. Let's do this. Pumps. The thing is, there's so much stuff in these rooms that is still useful. I really, really want, so we're going to have to do all of them. bit quick because I've done this before. It's just a rinse and repeat, basically. Now a fair chunk of people are going to get freezing, but that is going to be how it needs to be. And one more room. Yeah, let's make use of you. And take that. Freezing. Let's make sure we pick up. Let's make sure we pick up as much of this as possible. A sign. Let's fix you. And let's make sure we do this. Fix as many of the freezing affliction as possible. We have as few people as we can have with the possibility of getting frostbite. Let's make sure we feed the hoosh. Do I have any people left to do anything? No, I do not. There's no one here. We have already seen this. Kasha. It's the same text, so I'm going to just skip through it. Same thing here. Wrong. We need to go down. Down, down. Can't talk to Kasha. Okay. We don't have anyone that is like available. So like we don't have anyone that we can allocate towards any work. So we, with our knowledge about what's about to happen in the future, we shall abandon ship. Furnace is torn from the boiler. We're heading out then. Best tell the lads. We're moving out? Yes, captain's orders. For now we should focus on setting up a campsite on the ice. Leave the equipment hauling for later. No worries, I'll get them to work. We'll have a camp set up before you know it. You're taking that with you? Hey, can't go a day without it, can you? Oi, the crew like the music. Fair enough. You better get to hauling them lifeboats next. They're a bit more important than an accordion. Hey, I know. Calm down, Stanberry. We're simply moving to the ice. Yes, it's all very exciting. If the rest of you behave yourself, you will be treated to an extra helping of soup. Well, there we have it. The heart of the ship, ripped clean from a chest. It still beats for the crew. How long were you waiting on that one? Well, because it was shite. No time for poetry. Captain, let's get this bloody furnace set up on the ice. Make camp. This is one of few where you actually use a key item. This is not common. Anyway, confirm. What are you doing up there? Now's the last chance to get a shot like this. Isn't that dangerous? Don't worry, I've done it before. Don't tell the captain. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Very well, Temperance. Captain, I hope your new lodgings are to your comfort. Not, I'm afraid you will have to power through until rescue. We say goodbye to the Temperance. Our work is far from over. Nothing to protect us from the ice now. We weren't going to get anywhere holding on to that anchor. What is our next order of business? You've done well to already strip the lower decks of the ship. Perhaps the wildlife should be our next focus. Regardless, we need our wits about us. We stand alone against ice now. Remember, Shaw, reputation can be fragile. You do not need an unflattering image at a time like this. Hushpot, the furnace. Medical tent. Yeah. Photographer. All right, you can see the images that she has taken throughout the journey. Oh my god. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh. Bless me. Now, I don't have people available to do these doglows, but I will make them later on. Need to go through the ship just very quickly. See. Oh. Strip. Oh my god, so you can actually strip things for timber. That's why you might want to leave the ship early. I didn't actually know that. Like that was a thing. Because Huh. And it's probably like the more people you put towards stripping that, the more you're going to get. So if it's 2 of them, you're probably going to get something like 6 in total if you put 6 people to do it. 3 on both of them, so 6 in total. It's probably going to give you 6 timber, which is like, let's see, 17, 34, 51, 102. That's not bad. 102 fuel for that. That's actually really good. Yeah. Call the crew for dinner. Crew have their meal. Yeah, and during the evening I can't enter the ship. I wonder if I bought myself some time for the ship until it collapses. I don't think so, but you never know. A crew member approaches you during dinner. Captain, you look like you could use some more to eat. Taking up the responsibility of captain is as admirable as it is unenviable. Please help yourself to some of my own rations. Frankly, I'm stuffed. Thank you, but there's no need. That's rather kind of you, thank you. I have no time for toadying. You need not attempt it. Bootlicking. The third one isn't really an option. No. Thank you, but there's no need. Well, offer is always there. Turek III returns to the seated position as others in the crew look at them with annoyed expressions. It would appear their attempts at gratifying command was unsuccessful. Yeah. And that's the reason why Junior Stoke gained loyalty with you, because you said thank you, but no thanks. Because that was an attempt at buying favor in these trying times. That is usually not appreciated when someone tries to do that. But at the same time, they're also probably the ones that wanted to do it, so that's why they are more. That's more why they are annoyed, and not so much that they did it, but rather that they didn't do it first. Anyway, you get your photo snapped by their photographer too. Hey, he's a landlubber for sure. treating us like we're some novelty. I don't have much problem with it. Good conversation, at least. I'd rather less good conversation out here. And there I was, face to face with a leopard seal. Dangerous creatures. Cannot be mistaken for your average seal. True. Natural hunters. Much faster on land than you'd expect. How do you deal with that, then? I was lucky I had my hunting shotgun at the ready. We were feasting on leopard seal that night. Of course, all the times the crew weren't filming. Pull the other one. It's true. This other time Kurt continues to ramble on. It seems he will be at this for a while. Yeah. Hammond? What do you have to say? Worked with a lot of captains in my time. Half of them... Oh, this is the one. I'll try to live up to your expectations. You better. But don't bloody do it for me, sure? Right, so we got some more loyalty with him. That's good. Good to see you don't hide away from the crew in the evenings, sure? Didn't know what to make of you at first. I understand I'm hard to place. I'd like to know more about my crew. Refer to me as captain, please. I understand I'm hard to place. No doubt. But I'd say you place better than most. And that, I think, gets him above. So he is now loyal to me. Which means that the ones that were loyal to him is now loyal to me. Exactly. Harold Lefty Turner was loyal to Junior. Well, is loyal to Junior. Tucker loyal to Junior. Junior. Which means, because Junior Stoke is loyal to me, all of these people over here are now loyal to me. Now, that could change really quickly, but I mean, at least we have gotten to the point where it's like flipping over to our benefit. Evening, Captain. Have you been reading that textbook? I understand if you do not have the free time. Let's say this instead. Good. I had hoped you would enjoy it. I suppose the topic does provide an escape from the ice as well. Right, do we have any more? Cordell, what do you have to say? Evening, Captain. Right. Here we go. Basically the same conversation as before. Did she come snooping around your tent as well? I caught her prying a couple times. Yes, she found nothing on you. No, she did not. We could all learn something from you, Tashi. Like, that's the kind of conversation you have when you see someone as an enemy. Like an outsider, an outside threat. I do understand they don't like someone coming flashing with a camera in your face, like especially during like this time when cameras were like fairly new. So, understandable. Anyway, Grimly, what do you have to say? Been trying to come up with a new song. Something about seals, I'm thinking. Hard to think though. Winds are too distracting. But I haven't had a new song in a while. You're the creative sort then? Keep it light. I'm sure the crew would appreciate something jovial. Anything but seals. Come up with something away from the ice. No, keep it light. Hey, that's the plan. Harder to think jovial out here. I do understand. But yeah, we really do need to work on the loyalty with Grimly. But we'll see. Anyway, let's talk to Kasha. As you pass by, you see Kasha adjusting her camera as she stands, partially obscured as she finds the right angle for shots. As you step to her side, she raises her head and looks to you. What are you taking photos of? Do you ever stop taking pictures? Why don't you join the camp proper? This is actually kind of interesting. There's a lot of these expeditions that was like documented with pictures and so on, that actually had someone like Kasha documenting the journey. It was fairly common in this time period, and the person photographing, despite being part of the expedition, was never seen. Like, there are some cases, if I remember correctly, there are some where like they don't know who documented that expedition. They have proof of it, but they don't know who did it because there's no proof left to see who documented the journey and the expedition. But many times you can see them in like group photos and stuff. But there are some where I think I have some vague memory that that's the case for some, but anyway, never mind. Not important. What is important is what are we going to choose? What are we saying here? Why don't you join the camp proper? Do you ever stop taking pictures? And what are you taking photos of? Let's ask what she's taking photos of. Crew, of course. It's quite a unique situation we're in. I want to capture the mood. Maybe I could place it beside our initial crew photos. Compare and contrast, and oh, that's brilliant. You don't have to capture everything, you know. You can join the others if you wish. Cash's eyes dart to the crew, briefly lingering on the statue of Kurt, then back to you. I think I'm better off in the background, taking pictures from a distance. Intimidated? You dislike Kurt? Not intimidated? Of course not. Why would I be intimidated? Is it really that obvious? Simply that I followed Kurt's expedition a lot as a child. So seeing him in person is odd. Is he shorter than you expected? What is this? Pliskin? Oh my god, those movies were so bad. It was always like, oh, I thought you were dead. I thought you were taller. Always, there was something. Ah, good movies though. But oh my god, are the special effects and stuff dated? Ooh. Anyway. So you're simply starstruck. Kurt doesn't bite. Is he shorter than you expected? So you're simply starstruck. I wouldn't put it that way. There's a common adage you may have heard. Never meet your heroes. I'd like to avoid becoming one who repeats that adage. Do not know how that word is pronounced. It's obviously one of those words that is spelled like it is, but pronounced a completely different way. Because yeah, because why would you say how it is written? Like, why would you no, you can't have them to be the same or sensible. No. Anyway, so you're worried about being disappointed without an interview from Kurt. Your chronicle isn't complete. Yeah, let's do that. Without an interview you're from Kurt, your chronicle isn't complete. You're right. I hate that you're right. It's more that up until now, he's been an idea. Does that make any sense? Not really. Kurt is just not a person like you or I. Suppose so. Well, I'll leave you be. I'm still looking for the right shot. Wishy-washy. Still understandable because sometimes it's like, it's not really like a good opportunity right now. I do understand, but at the same time it's like pushing that kind of stuff, pushing it forward, especially in this kind of environment, is probably not a good idea. Anyway, have I talked to everyone? Have I done everything? I do believe that's the case. Rather morbid, sure, but our last conversation had me wondering about those children of mine. Right, it's this one again. We've already done this one. Let's see if we... Yeah, exactly. Let's make sure we're not missing anything. Dr. Nutley. He's stuttering and like there are a word in my language that is like so good, and I'm not sure I know the equivalent in English. And but he's so He's like a chihuahua, like a stressy, jumpy chihuahua, like extra jumpy chihuahua. Yeah. Anyway. Mr. Templeton. I trust all is going well? Well, as well as can be. All thanks to your expertise, I take it. I try my best. We should continue to do so. We wish not any further incidents. Dr. Nutley is also not someone who does well under pressure. When you pressure him when it's not actually necessary. Like... Evening. Found some old tickets in my luggage. The play I planned to see before we departed. Unfortunately, it was delayed due to several accidents. People were beginning to say the production was cursed. Never believed in curses. But after this expedition, well... Perhaps you're the one who's cursed, Doctor. Ugh. Are you concerned about missing the play? For a man of science, Doctor, try not to give in to baseless superstition. Well, in these kind of situations, it's not really that easy to stop thinking about it. Anyway, are you concerned about missing the play? Well, that's hardly a concern after all that's happened. Though it was something I was excited for. It's a shame. I wonder how my editor will find my report in its finished state. It was a nightmare getting any plague story published. Only the Daily Appeal was willing to pick it up, and they were hardly the most reputable of papers. We did wonders for their reputation, I understand. I don't like the idea of your story being told by a common rag. After your award win, I'm sure any other paper would take you on. After your award win, I'm sure any other paper would take you on. That's true, but I don't know if I would accept. The Daily Appeal is far from a perfect newspaper, but they trusted my writing when no other did. Faith like that shouldn't go unrewarded, I think. True, but you shouldn't stay just because of that either. Staying loyal because of, like, past actions is not always indicative towards what's going to be happening in the future. Can be, but it doesn't have to be. Anyway, it probably doesn't matter because we're stuck on the ice. So, let's have time pass, and now we have actually fed the hoosh, and we have fuel, and we need enough fuel and food need both to be normal. At some point, the fuel rations are going to have to go up to a high, but we're not there yet, thankfully. Confirm. Healed. Cured of their freezing. That progressed into frostbite. That's not good. But that's just one of them. So that means the two that could progress into frostbite, only one did. That's actually good. Like, it could have been both of them, but now it's just one of them. Start of next week. Week 8. Now, with that, we are going to end it here. Yeah, we are out on the ice. It's probably not going to be possible to explore the ship anymore. I might be wrong, but we'll see. That is, however, going to be something we can explore and find out in the next episode. And we found out that we couldn't stay on the ship anymore. So we had to do week 7 a second time. Regardless, I just want to ask that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if you feel inclined to do those things. But that is completely up to you. So with that out of the way, I will say thanks for watching. Goodbye, and brain fart. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. There we go.